Welcome back, Tony Perdomo from Exodus Travels, and we're going to take a peek at cycling. And I think, Tony, one of your favorite or most current destinations you've been to was Croatia?
Croatia, yeah, the Dalmatian coast, Lisa.
Awesome.
And I'm going to show you some fun things today about that.
Yeah, I'll just sit back virtually here from Vietnam in Nha Trang.
In Nha Trang, that's right, really nice little resort area. Like one of my favorite places in Vietnam is one of our best-selling destinations when it comes to cycling. And
yes.
That's Nha Trang, trust me, you just after a nice little day of cycling. Where else and what other tour styles can you, besides obviously marine boats and so on, can you get off a bike, run into the beach, go for a dip, come back out and get on your bike and continue?
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest, right? So thanks for having me here, Lisa. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about cycling trips. I'm wearing my cycling jersey that I wore and I washed it. I know what people are thinking, that I wore over in the Dalmatian coast. So it's really a lot of fun to talk about something that I'm very passionate about when it comes to cycling trips altogether, right? So again, with Exodus, just a quick little, what is it that we do? We have, we do small group adventure travel, and I'll explain what adventure means to us. But right now what we're seeing is the footage from our very first ever trip. And I love showing this. And maybe Lisa, have you seen this too many times, perhaps?
No, never too many times.
Never too many times. And I'll say this, that it's so great because this is the actual footage from 1974 on our first trip, London to Afghanistan. And that same truck went all the way to the Himalayas. So talk about a road trip. Just say, talk about a road trip, right? So the sense of adventure is still there since day one. What is this adventure? We just want to give people local experiences and just way to experience countries, destinations differently. So I'll explain to you today what does small group mean, what kind of adventures, because I know what people are thinking that, okay, this guy's crazy. Look, he's bungee jumping between dinners and all this stuff. That's not the kind of adventures we do. No, we're doing, again, experiences, right? So today we're going to see it. But the most important thing is something I'm very passionate to tell you more about is that everything we do since day one is with responsible travel on our, on our heads, right? Because we want to make sure that when we go to a country or a town, village, wherever you go, we want to make sure that the people, the place, and the planet will benefit from our place, right? So today we're going to talk about that a little bit. And so all this great work has led us to create our own foundation. So we do have some great projects that should you come on our trips, you'll see it in India, you'll see it in the Himalayas, in Peru, the projects hands-on. In some places up in northern Ladakh, we'll help planting trees. You don't need to see the trees, but we help plant them and so on. So there's a lot of projects that you'll see face-to-face and a lot of projects that you will be doing through your donations, contributing to, which is nice. Now, last year, Lisa, you know this, we had about 4 months of vacation, travel, yes. But we still kept our promise. We still kept our promise. Say, you know what, we're going to continue helping out the communities. I'll show you a little clip of what we managed to do just last year. 4 months of travel. That's it, okay? Right. That's so nice to see that. All the kids. Something I will tell you, Lisa, as well as I've done quite a bit of these presentations and talks, and the majority of people are thinking what I'm thinking. Back before COVID, we were calling Lisa, hey, listen, I'm kind of not doing much tomorrow. Can you book me a flight so I can get out of here tomorrow, right? That's normal. That happens, no problem. But now, because of what's happening, we don't have that luxury of just taking off whenever we want. And that's okay. So the rise of the conscious traveler is emerging. So the people, and what does that mean? For me, it's like, well, remember those things that you really want to do, whether it's cycling, whether it's going on a gorilla, a safari, or whatever it is that you want. Those, I don't like that term bucket list, but those big items like one day, those one dayers, they're all coming to day one now. Everybody's turning into the conscious travel. Like, you know what? I actually want to do these kind of trips and these kind of great experiences. So all I will say is that whenever anybody chooses their travel, think about how you can help out the community, because around the world, tourism has been hit pretty hard. So just keep that in mind the next time you choose an operator. Ask the right questions. Is kind of hotels are they using, how they contribute to the sustainability of the planet, the location, so on. Just a tip, right? So, but what we're here to talk about today is that, I have this fancy cycling jersey. We're going to talk about cycling trips, right? So let me just define again what our small group means. So for those people that, I'm a cyclist, I love cycling. A lot of my friends don't know what that is yet. So there's a pretty good chance they're not going to come with me on a trip. So I want to go. I'm not going to held back by anybody. So I go and join a group tour. And that's the majority of the tours that we offer are already scheduled. And what happens, one person, two people show up on day one. Hey, look at all these strangers here, but we're all here together because we're all going to cycle Vietnam, Croatia, Italy, the list goes on and on. But the average group size for us is 12, which is nice. So great for socially distanced, and you're on a bike anyway, so it's great. So average 12, maximum 16 people on our trips all around. The average age for us is 53, which is nice. But the most important thing is that about 2/3 of our clients now are solo travelers. And if you're a solo traveler, here's the best thing, Lisa, you ready? Guess you book by yourself. Doesn't mean you have to pay extra. No, I'm adventurous. I shouldn't be penalized because I'm adventurous, right? So you have two choices. Single travelers, do you want to share with somebody same gender? No extra cost. No problem. We'll get that taken care of for you. We don't charge you extra because you're booking by yourself. That's a huge difference, right? And the single supplement comes in when I want my own room. Then it's a different story. But you know what? Some of these prices, Lisa, $30 to $70 per night, which is not very much at all. So just to give you an idea, right? So now we know who comes on our trips. We want to know who takes you around from A to B. We have some great leaders, marine biologists, Egyptologists. We have published authors, international mountain leaders. The list goes on and on and on. These are people from the region, from the area, because we want to obviously give back to the community, part of responsible travel, right? And some of these great leaders have been with us for 30 plus years. So imagine the passion, the knowledge that comes when your clients show up on day one. You're on an Exodus tour and you're cycling, you're thinking, okay, guys, we're going to be there in an hour. That's it. Like, no background story where I am. No, they fill you in, all that stuff, right? So it's not just your coach telling you, let's go, let's cycle, let's move on, right? So anyway, so you get great quality leaders everywhere you go. And something else that I love, and this is part of our sustainable travel, is our accommodation. We use locally owned hotels everywhere we go, which is nice. So hotels, Bedouin camps, manor houses, converted farmhouses, lodges, chateaus, you name it. We want them to be locally owned, number one. Do you employ local people? Yes. Nice. Let's continue talking. The other thing, of course, is like depending on the range. Again, you go from 3 to 4 to 5 star, depending on what you want. You want premium tours? We got them. You want standard tours? We got them for you too. So, but look at the range of accommodation. It doesn't really matter. And I will say this right now, like you're seeing this crocodile here. What is this video about? We partner up with a rainforest lodge over in Costa Rica. We're together over the last 20 years. We've helped them to procure 14,000 hectares of primary jungle. So then that jungle doesn't get used for, condos or toothpicks or whatever the jungles get used for, right? So they're very sustainable and they have been like that since day one. At the bottom, what we're seeing is what a converted farmhouse of the Agriturismo in Italy, in Tuscany right there. And it's, again, locally owned, small. Look at this. This isn't 70 rooms and like, sorry, are you staying here? Who are you? No, they know your faces. And this, again, most of the rooms most of the hotels that we use tend to be a lot smaller. So small, family-owned, locally run accommodation. Look at that converted farmhouse. Yeah, can't wait to go there one day, Lisa. That's all I got to tell you.
Me too.
Yeah, one day. So, but all of our cycling trips or all of our trips in general, whether they're soft adventure or active travel, everything is graded from level 1. Okay, we're still going to be friends. We can still cycle. Perhaps we can still have a conversation, all the way to a level 7 for cycling. We have level 8 walking, but up to cycling level 7. So if you like a little challenge, we got them here for you. So there's 4 different styles that we have. We have road cycling, which is our most popular one. Then we have a little bit of off-road. We have this drop bar for all the Tour de France people out there that are the Giro d'Italia. Like, I'm ready for a challenge. Stop giving me this stuff. I want some real things. And then we have ones where self-guided. I'm going to try to cover 3 of those for sure today. So again, for our cycling trips that are guided, that means you show up on day 1, you have a local leader, and then, hey, I've never met anybody before, but now we're all friends because we're all here for the same common theme, the cycle, Croatia, for example. So this is what we're including. Number 1, the bike. So This is the actual bike that I used when I went cycling in the Dalmatian coast. So it's a hybrid bike. We give you all the information on what kind of bike we can use. Now, do you want to bring your own bike? Perhaps, yeah, right. I like the little streamers. I like my bell. Mine has a little wine holder, whatever. If that's what you want to do, bring it. However, you're taking it apart, putting it on the flight, off you go. But we're not going to put it back together for you. You need to put that together. So the majority of people don't bring their own bikes, but you could if you want, okay? So we give you a bike, which is nice. You don't have to worry about that. And we give you that van or the support vehicle behind you. So in case that one day you don't feel good or you really went to town and that all you can drink wine last night, you got that van right there. So you'll have the guide at the front, you'll have the group spread in the middle, and then the van in the back. Not chasing you, not telling you, let's go. None of this, Coach Mickey and Rocky. No, but just making sure that, hey, we're not leaving you behind, right? So support vehicle and you get the bike. Now, there are cases where people perhaps aren't in the same fitness level. So what happens? You can have a regular bike and then we have e-bike option for you. So you pay a little bit extra, but I want you to see right now, you still have to pedal, right, Lisa? You're not just sitting back there with this.
No.
But you get that cigar, that's it, right? In the glass of Prosecco, and it's not a scooter. You still have to pedal. So we have a lot of those in Europe, of course, in some places in Asia, like Sri Lanka and Cambodia, for example. So the first trip I want to start off with is this one, the one that I did, my first ever cycling trip with Exeter. It was so great. I was so happy to go to south of the Dalmatian coast. Of course, Croatia, is such a popular destination pre-COVID, and everybody probably thinks of Dubrovnik, but there's so much more to it. So this is the itinerary here itself. You can see we started in Split and we went down to 2 islands, Hvar and Korčula, and we finished off in Dubrovnik. So we were cycling from place to place to place. We have some trips where you actually don't move from hotels. So they call center base. So just keep that in mind. But the majority of the cycling trips you are moving from hotel to region to hotel to different cities, even multi-country, as you'll see, right? So we start off in Split. The group, we all met up, and basically the guide on day one will go over the bike. Okay, this is your bike because you gave me your height. That's what Lisa's going to be asking you. How tall are you? So we can fit you on perfectly on the bike. We go over the brakes. You test it out. Excellent. Let's start cycling. So on that cycling trip, that was 7 days. Okay, 7 nights, right? We cycle 4 days together, and then 1 day extra for you either to get on the bike or a free day to do what you want to do, on or off the bike, your call. So look at the scenery here. So you're going to Dubrovnik, Hvar, Korčula. And the thing is, we'll go to the big, like Korčula is a pretty popular place, but we're not going to stay in the middle of the noise. We're going to stay about a 20-minute walk from the main center. We're in a much quieter place in front of a beach. You know what I mean? So, because you're cycling anyways, you can ride your bike. You'll be there in 10 minutes. And we give you the locks and what have you. But look at this. We're going for cycling all along the peninsula. And this trip was so great because, as you'll see here, I only see pictures of, the coastline and cyclists. Where are the cars? I don't see any cars, right? Because look at this. This is the best thing about cycling, is that we tend to use the routes that are less busy, less traffic, because otherwise, I know you have that picture of Vietnam in the background. So imagine cycling from Hanoi, from your hotel, bypassing, did you say second left or third left? I don't know. And people are all over that place with the motorbikes. You see this, what's happening? Too much confusion, right? So instead, what we'll do is sometimes we might drive 20 minutes and then start cycling, right? But along the Dalmatian coast, since it's Friday, we got a good weekend coming up. Lisa, I'm going to tell you this right now. The wine in Croatia and, of course, the Balkans, like Macedonia and Montenegro, is spectacular. So we go visit a winery, believe it or not. And Croatia does make some really good wine. So you get wine, we get all your breakfasts are included, of course. We include some snacks here and there. But the best thing when it comes to sustainable travel, Lisa will mention this, is that, what about water? I mean, I'm going to have to drink lots of water on this trip. We're not giving you cases of water. We're not. We're going to refill your water all the time. So you bring one of your refillable water bottles and we top you up. Again, we don't want to contribute to plastic problem in the world, right? And since we haven't seen the beach in a while, this is what the actual water looks like off the island of Korčula. I just want to take a little minute right here just to let you guys know. This is real. There's no filter here. I'm not choosing on Instagram like Jealousy, Naveen, Seville. No, this is the real deal right here. So absolutely great. And you know what? Let me just show you a bit more, okay? This is the cycling the Dalmatian coast video. So you can see here, sometimes we'll drive, get on your bike and continue. So have a little wonderful look as we have more caffeine, right? Mm. Wow, look at this. No traffic, Lisa. Where are the cars? Where are the cars?
Ready.
That's just saying. So look how beautiful this is. So again, just to give you a little sneak peek, we'll have hills, but then what goes up must come down. Wait, the vineyards, wineries. Look at this. Spectacular. Ah. I do want to go back. That's it. Going back. Wow. Wow, look at that. That was Havar. Look at that beautiful hill coming up. You're never really alone because you have the guy telling you what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do things, and if you want to pedal faster, we'll meet you there. If you want to take your time, the band will be behind you. So, anyway, just to give you a little sneak peek on some of the things you'll see on our cycling trips. You see it, so you have the guide, you have the vehicle support, we give you the bike, and we'll set off in the morning. And again, for those who are having way too much caffeine and want to be there 8 minutes, that's okay. We'll tell you, okay, just pedal this way. When you see the yellow pole, you wait for us there. It should take you about 10 minutes, an hour, whatever you like, right? So that's the wonderful thing about our cycling trips. Everybody has an idea, right? So, and now, so we go to popular places. Cycling the Dalmatian coast by far is our best-selling trip between that one and another one, which I'll mention. And then we go to places where a little bit less visited, like Puglia and Matera. Some people know where that is, some people don't. So that's the heel of Italy. So we'll start off in Matera, we'll finish off in Lecce, which is quite nice. And again, we're going to different parts of Italy. You know, we have a Tuscany trip, we have one that goes into the Amalfi Coast, and of course, some areas that, you know, Sicily, and some areas that are less visited, like this one here, Puglia, Matera. There's my colleague right there, Kent, on the top right, who did this trip a couple of years ago himself, and he changed. And him and I both agree, like cycling trip is so wonderful. You know, not only do you stay in shape, you feel good, you don't feel guilty about it. I've been asking for seconds for dinner, right? Sometimes, but look at this, in Puglia, Matera, the coastline is absolutely stunning. The towns, the routes, it's not very busy, and we choose those routes for a reason, right? And then of course, you'll get to see some beautiful UNESCO heritage sites like in Alba Robello or Gallipoli right there. And the accommodations from a converted farmhouse to hotels, and just again, all locally owned, which gives you that little extra feel when you get there, right? So from Croatia to Italy to where you are right now, Lisa, in Vietnam. Vietnam is our best selling. Between that and Croatia, they always flip back and forth every couple months. Vietnam is our best selling trip for very good reasons. For this one, we start in the south in Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, as you may know it, and heading northbound. And this one day, I want to let you know, you're doing 100 kilometers, which I think people are going to start freaking out about. Like 100 kilometers is a lot. But think about it, you're going over the Hai Van Pass, right in the middle of the map, as you can see it there. So you're doing about a nice little 20-kilometer climb, but then the rest is just downhill. So about 70 to 80 kilometers on a downhill grade, which is why we do the tour in that direction, as opposed to the other way. It's just mine, right? Yeah, we get a lot of, I'm not gonna make it. But again, you have the vehicle in the back, right? So going down 80 kilometers, way easier, right? And of course, finishing off in Halong Bay, which is so wonderful. So depending what you want, Portugal, we have a premium trip in Porto, down to Lisbon, right? And the good thing in the trips that we have to offer is that if you're into the wine region, of course, you know, Porto up in that wonderful area, the Douro Valley is known for that, you know, the Vino Vergi, or the green wine as they call it. So if you want to do your own self-guided tour, or we have a walking in wine in the Douro Valley, you can do that 1 week, back it up, follow it up with a Porto down to Lisbon, which is quite nice. So you do ask Lisa for, like, can we combine? I think most of us here are not going to go away for 1 week only, Lisa, on our first trip, right?
No.
I don't know about you. My out of office will be at least like, I don't know, I'm back sometime. Just leave me alone. So most people will be choosing 2 to 3 week vacations coming up, right? So just keep that in mind. Look at this one, Porto down to Lisbon, beautiful coastline along the way. The hotels are absolutely stunning. The food is great. And it just tends to be a little bit flatter downhill as opposed to other areas where we're going to be going up hills, like whether it's the Balkans or what have you, right? So from Europe, we also have other great non-European destinations, like going down to South Africa, you know, cycling in the Cape and the Winelands. Look at this, from Cape Town, going across to the wine region of Stellenbosch and heading all the way to the very most southern point in Africa called Cape Agulhas, which is so nice. This one's 12 days, 11 nights, 7 nights guest houses, 4 nights in lodges. So it gives you a nice little variety on our trips. And, you know, look at this, from a penguin colony to Cape Town, the adventure capital of Africa. You can rival that with Victoria Falls, of course, but it's just so great to have the coastline with you the whole time, learning about, and you get to see some animals and have wine. And look at the coastline here. So you can't beat that at all, right? So from South Africa to Central Europe as well, Prague to Budapest. One of my most favorite beautiful areas right there, Prague, through 4 capital cities, Prague, Bratislava, Vienna, all the way finish off in Budapest, which is so nice. And you can see all of our trips, people are asking, like, well, how long am I cycling for? 30 kilometers, 3 days? Like, what is it? We tell you the break day by day. We break it down. You're doing 30 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 8 miles, 25 miles, whatever it is. We'll always tell you right there. And again, it's not like you're doing 30 kilometers all at once. No, let's cycle 45 minutes, stop, have a coffee, get on your bike, have lunch, continue. It's a day. We'll break it up. We'll stop at a winery. We'll stop here. We'll do this and have some nice, wonderful things along the way. And of course, this is some of the things you'll get to see from Vienna, you know, the heart of classical music. And that video right there is when I went to Chiemsee Krumlov. What a jewel that is. What a beautiful place Chiemsee Krumlov is all together. And of course, on the right, we have Prague and the famous Charles Bridge. And then the architecture in Prague, let's be honest, is phenomenal. From that library in the top left, which is in a monastery, which has a brewery on the same grounds, which is so wonderful, right? And then from Chiemsee Krumlov down to Budapest and Vienna. So you do get to see some wonderful regions within Central Europe. And then some other areas that will be, let's say, more in high demand because people will probably want to steer away from maybe Spain or Italy this year. Who knows? They want to do something different. The Baltics. Put the Baltics in your map. And where are the Baltics? Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Those little countries that are right beside Russia. I'm telling you, what a great discovery this is going to be for those people out there that are thinking of doing something different. The Baltics, I'm telling you, is superb. So we have great, again, just to give you an idea, look from Tallinn, or the capital Estonia, heading south through a couple of national parks, the coastline. And then you head into Riga, which is the capital of Latvia, finishing off in Vilnius, which is Lithuania. And all those 3 countries, you know, were part of the USSR back in the day. And they all have different religious beliefs, you know, from Lutheran to Catholic to Orthodox, but they all get along well. They're all welcoming. They're all wonderful. And they just want to show you, look, we have some beautiful cities here and it's super safe and it's absolutely wonderful. So look at the wonderful things you'll get to see along the way when you're cycling along the coastlines, the national parks, and one of these wonderful accommodation is that you'll spend the night at a former distillery, 27 rooms. So again, just to give you a little bit of like, where am I? This is wonderful. What a great, I never knew this, right? You're going to be getting a lot of, I never knew this kind of experiences on our tours, right? On the bottom left, this big weird building, that is a former communist building. Look at the architecture, right? Lisa, let's be honest. So let me tell you about that. Stalin, back in his heyday in the USSR in Moscow, we built 7 sisters. So 7 buildings that look exactly like that. And 2 of them outside of Russia. One of them in Warsaw, Poland, and the other one in Riga, Latvia, the basis where the market is. So you'll see the remains of the communist architecture in these wonderful countries, as opposed, and of course the stance and so on. But look at this, then the emerge of the new architecture and the wonderful medieval towns, and everybody has this own identity within Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. So please put that in your maps. You're gonna get some people yelling at you, Lisa, like, now I have more destinations to think about. I already had a list of 3, now I have 8. Come on, right? It's a good problem. It's a good problem, right? I'm okay with that, right? So from Europe, again, down to India, going to Kerala. What is all this going on here? One night, okay? You get to spend a night on a houseboat. And look at that houseboat, Lisa. I wanted to highlight this and show you, this is fun. This is different. You get your own room. It's a beautiful, well, premium style accommodation as well. And look at this, you're starting Cochin, finishing up in Trivandrum, which is quite nice, and seeing a different part of India. We have a few trips in India where they're cycling, where you're going from one wonder of the world to another host nation of the world, you know, Jordan, cycling Petra and Wadi Rum, like cycling into Petra, cycling into Little Petra, going along the desert, we've seen the King's Highway, and you're heading into Wadi Rum, which the movie like The Martian and all these other movies were filmed there. Such sensual, beautiful experience altogether. Like you're just cycling left and right and just thinking, wow, this is beautiful. So again, you get this, and Jordan is a pretty small country as it is, but you get to see it all from Amman to Aqaba, as you can see it in the map. Of course, Petra, cannot go to Jordan without seeing Petra, right?
Absolutely.
Some destinations are a bit different, like going to Namibia, going to Japan, going and cycling in Peru, even some other trips where you do Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. The list goes on and on and on. So great, wonderful things. So again, look at this. This is a picture of all of us here cycling the Dalmatian coast. Small group, 12 to 16 people. We give you the bike and we give you the vehicle support on our guided cycling trips, right? So perhaps you don't want to go with a group and you just want to go with your friend, or you want to go with, your 4 high school friends, whatever it is, but you don't want to join a group because you like doing your own thing. Yeah, I like getting up at 6 in the morning. I like taking off at 7. Why do I have to wait till the group finishes breakfast till 9, right? Well, guess what? We have this thing called self-guided. And here's how self-guided works, right? So you don't have a guide telling you, go left, the other way, vacation brain on, right? Let's turn it down a notch. Some of us, one person has to be in charge of directions because there's no guide. Okay, so self-guided means no guide. But you saw the little video there. That is our GPS app that will tell you everything. You don't need Wi-Fi or data either. You download the notes, everything, and it's going to tell you left, right. So you get your guide in forms of a GPS app. You still get your bike, which is nice. You want an e-bike? No problem. And how does this work? Well, you see the wonderful people right on the bottom left. They'll meet you on day 1. They'll go over the trip notes, make sure you know what you're doing, where you're going, and so on. Most of our self-guided trips, you are moving from hotel to hotel, city to city. But we do have some where you don't move hotels. You stay put in the same one hotel all week long. Those are called center-based trips. So Lisa, I give you some information on that as well, and you can share that with anybody's asking about those. Hey, what about those cycling trips where you don't have to move? Center-based. Phenomenal. So we go to the trip notes, we give you the maps, you have the app. What's the catch? Well, you just get up in the morning, bring your luggage downstairs, because those people in the middle will pick it up for you and transfer it to the next hotel. Like, can it get any better, right? Yes, it can be actually, because if you have kids that are 4 years old, what 4-year-old can go on a cycling trip? It's very rare to find that, right? But a lot of these self-guided trips are well catered for family, and some of them are good for minimum age 1, like going to Bavaria and cycling at Lake Chiemsee right there, minimum age 1. We'll give you a little wagon in the back and off you go. Again, for your cycling trips, just bring the helmet. We give you the bike. If you want to bring your own pedals, you want to bring your own gear, that's fine. You're putting it together. But otherwise, you get the bike, just bring your own helmet, right? So just a few examples of some self-guided trips that we have. Cycling the Danube from Vienna to Budapest, a little bit different than the other one that I showed you earlier, guided. From Prague to Budapest, this was self-guided. From Vienna, just down to Budapest itself. Again, this is where you go self-guided. You have all the GPS app. You just leave your luggage downstairs. We'll pick it up, transfer to the next place. But what happens if I get lost? What if I don't know where I'm going? Well, the app will tell you, but if anything happens, the person on day 1 will give you their card. Hey, give me a call on WhatsApp, on a regular phone, whatever you want, 24-hour support. You're not alone, okay? We're not alone. If you want to get lost, don't worry. The GPS app will get you back on the right route, right? Hey, we all have that, right? So from the Danube, we have, of course, the latest UNESCO World Heritage Site in Italy, the Prosecco region. And there we have one of our best-selling walking and wine trips, which is absolutely fabulous. And then we also have a cycling, the Prosecco region. Yeah, I know, cycling and wine, do they go together? It's Italy. That's why you bring 2 helmets, right? No, I'm joking. But bottom line is this: it is great to go and experience that. So look at the wonderful region here. And I want to show you a little video from one of our local leaders. Her name is Vania, and she was the Tour Leader of the Year 2 years ago. Absolutely fabulous. Look at the things you get to find along the Prosecco region. This is true because when I mention this to people, they're thinking, that's a lie. It's on the record right now. This is a vending machine, Lisa, which dispenses your Prosecco, right? It's not Coca-Cola, it's not Fanta, it's Prosecco region. So it's not bad. So again, some of the different things you'll get to see along the way. So self-guided, we do all of our self-guided cycling in Europe and the UK, of course. So Cotswold Cycles, a brand new trip that we just launched because there is a lot of demand from the UK. Canadians and Americans want to head over to the UK for for trips, and we offer self-guided, which is a bit way different anyway. So this one here again, 6 days, which is quite nice to be, look at that massive region that you're gonna be covering, which is the second largest area of outstanding natural beauty, as it states right there. But the good thing about this is you got some full English breakfast style, and of course you get some beautiful accommodation, including a 17th century coaching inn, which is quite nice, right? And the Loire Valley, of course, in France. Look at this, you have 6 trips to choose from, whether you want a 6-day or 8-day, if you want deluxe or you want standard, your call. Lots of options here for you. And of course, seeing the beautiful chateaus, having the wine, the cheese. Should I go on about the Loire Valley or what? Right, so France, Italy, the UK, and some new trips, Amsterdam, in Holland, or the Netherlands and Belgium, in one combining both from Amsterdam to Brussels. They have a look here, going through the wonderful Gouda capitals, all the way down to some beautiful towns and finishing off in Brussels. And we have one that goes from Brussels into Ghent. And again, just to show you in terms of the accommodation, look at this. This is one of the converted farmhouses that we use on our self-guided trips. It's 9 rooms, that's it. And everything that's on your table, the food, the wine, the yogurt, all comes from the local farm. Again, just to give you a little bit of idea, and in Catalonia, Spain, look at this wonderful 50-room premium hotel that we use on our Catalan, either walking or cycling trips itself, which is so stunning, right? So again, it's all about the experience. So when I mentioned adventure travel, it's all about experiential travel. What do you want to experience? What are you in the mood for? Now, you might get people like, you know what, I don't mind a day of cycling or 2, but do I have to, I don't want to do the whole week, Lisa. I don't want to do the whole week. I just want a couple of days. I just want to get my fix of cycling. Great. Welcome to activities, self-guided activities, where you get to do exactly that. A couple of days of walking with a couple of days of cycling. You get the best of both worlds, which is nice. So we have them in Spain, France, we have them in the UK, we have this one here, of course, as you mentioned, in Austria, which is cycling. So we have 2 days of cycling, 3 days and 3 days of walking, which is nice. Or even going to Ireland, the same thing as well. 2 days, okay? You get 2 days of walking, 3 days of cycling, which is so nice. And this is the things I'm talking about when it comes to having experiences. What do you want to experience on our trips, right? So once again, for cycling, you can have a guided tour or you can have a self-guided trip. It's your call. The good thing about the self-guided, of course, you go as fast as you want, as slow as you want. It's your life. But most of these departures can be daily. Some of them depart every 2-3 days, some of them weekly. So if you want to do a guided tour followed by a self-guided trip, it can fit in both different directions. So talk to Lisa, she's got plenty of options there for you. So once again, we'll give you the bike on either tour, doesn't matter, guided or self-guided, bikes are included, which is nice. You just bring a helmet. You want to bring your own equipment, then you put it together, pedals, seats, whatever, it's your call. We on our trip notes, we of course will tell you what you should bring, like the sleeves, unless you want that awesome tan, but some of us have a weird tan, so we better not. So it's sleeves to like snacks, and again, if you have anybody that different dietary requirements, I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan, I'm this and that, no problem at all. We will cater to you. I'm a vegetarian, vegan myself, and when I went to Italy, I thought, good luck with that. No, it's easy. We even had gluten-free people that came to Italy. What? Exactly, because that exists, right? So that is me talking about cycling, active travel. But in case people are just tuning in and like, well, I like cycling, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. Also know that we have other styles like cultural trips where it's soft adventure, like going and seeing the highlights, whether of Greece, Italy, Spain, you name it, soft adventure, even food trips. So just keep that in mind. We also have wildlife trips. So if you want to go to Costa Rica, if you want to go to the lemurs, if you want to Galapagos, even the gorillas or the big 5, we got them all for you. So cultural, wildlife, small ships. We also have some phenomenal, like this one here, going to Iquitos in Peru. We got family, we got winter, we got mixed activity, we got even edits for only people between 30 and 49. That's pretty much it, right? And last couple minutes here to let you know, of course, uncertainties in the air, let's be honest, like Can I travel in September? Am I going to be able to travel? Who knows, right? So we give you the booking with confidence. So if you want to secure your spot on any of our trips, you absolutely can. And we make that booking experience very flexible for you, because should you want to cancel your trip, or should you have to change it because of COVID, or the local government over there isn't allowing Canadians to go there anymore, things are changing all the time. Green light, amber light, green light, amber light, right? All the time, right? So it's okay. We're being very flexible. So we say, hey, get your refund or put it towards a different trip. No problem. So we're here to help you. So book with confidence and then travel with confidence. As you know, the world's opening slowly. France is saying yes. Portugal was saying yes. Now, no. Iceland is good to go. So we work with local authorities everywhere and companies to make sure that the hotels are safe, the leaders are great, all the equipment is all sanitized and clean and safe. And that's the gold standard from now on, right? So I hope I covered quite a bit when it comes to our cycling trips, Lisa, and our active travel. And as you know, I don't know if you had the experience, Lisa, I will just tell you right now, but I tried looking for a bike in March. And they told me I should get a bike by the time I'm 60. What? Sold out. Last year's trend was TikTok. Now it's bike lock. Everybody's just getting a bike. And so I'm like, it is what it is. I luckily found one, which is nice. But everybody is cycling nowadays, right? So I absolutely tell you that more people are going to be doing cycling trips. So just keep that in mind. So any questions, you got Lisa's information here. She has all of our wonderful info about our cycling trips. And if you have any questions like, what hotels are you using? What kind of bike are you using? And just anything like that, by all means, reach out to Lisa here.
Well, what I really love is that there's such a diverse option of where you can go, because a lot of people are looking to travel because they've got all this pent up demand, and for good reason, they're all going to the must-see spots, but those are getting really, really crowded. They're getting really crowded. And, you know, if for a lot of people are finding that if they haven't booked for 22, they may have to be looking into 2023. But if you go off the beaten path, you are going to see some amazing destinations and you're not going to encounter crowds. And that's key. And that's the beauty of these cycle tours. And I personally have been wanting to do one, but as soon as I heard e-bikes, I went, okay, I'm good. Yeah. Because I'd like to think I'm somewhat fit, but I don't want to get all the way over there and go, I should have got an e-bike.
I hear, and that's why we give you the option. And for those who are up in the fence, like, well, I think I can do it, but I'm not entirely sure. Two things. Number one, we give you, believe it or not, we give you a fitness plan. Okay. If you want, and we give you a fitness plan for you. It's like, okay, you chose a level 3 tour, for example, that Dalmatian coast, Croatia. Now, in order for you to do this tour, there's one day where you're going to be doing 10 kilometers uphill. Ooh, that sounds like a lot, right? Now, how do you train to get to that level where you're like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this before, right? We give you these fitness plans. We'll tell you, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. So think of us like a little mini coach preparing you for your trip. So that's one thing. And the other thing, of course, is like, if you're up in the air, choose a guided tour, because the guided tour, the vehicle in the back, you'll have the bike. And if you want to get an e-bike, that's the great option. And Lisa, I'll be honest, there's a rumor that we had one person come on our cycling trips and not once got on the bike. They were in the van the whole time, taking pictures, enjoying themselves. So you have that extra security in the background, right?
Yeah, no, I love the idea of that van, because you never know. Like you said, you might have had a little too much local wine the night before. And
probably, yeah.
I'm just going to sit in the AC for now, and I'll get on the bike after lunch. And it gives you options. It gives tons of options. So I love the fact that if there's a destination, I'm sure Exodus Travels has a bike tour for you. So if anyone has any questions, I should add that pricing will be in both Canadian and US dollars.
Absolutely.
And what if you're in the UK?
You get your choice. You want to pay in pounds, you want to pay in euros. That is absolutely fine. We have a lot of great multi-currency for everything that we do. And again, the great thing is, if let's say you want to do a big bucket cycling trip and it costs, let's say, $5,000. I don't credit card swipe for $4,000. You know what? You can pay in installments. You put your deposit down, 300 US or 350 Canadian. Okay. I'm sure in pounds is a lot different. And then if you want to pay in installments, but sure, Lisa, can you just run my credit card monthly? Sure, we do it. Doesn't matter. So don't feel like, I don't look forward to that bill 1 month before departure. No, just pay it slowly. Hey, if you have trips for 2022, keep it in mind because things are filling up. And like you were saying, hit the spot right there, saying like, everybody's going to go to Italy. Everybody's going to go to Spain and France. We know that. I want to go to Europe and I want to do something different. Consider the Baltics. Consider the Balkans. Montenegro, Albania, Croatia, all those little spots here, way less visits. Slovenia, all these places
they're stunning.
And they're stunning and inexpensive. So we have cycling trips for you, wherever you want to go. Absolutely.
Yes. So I want to thank you, Tony, for taking the time to joining me today. And as always, I just want to get out and go. You've inspired me to want to just get on a plane and go, and I can hardly wait for that date. It can't happen soon enough.
Cannot happen soon enough, and I want to be exactly where this person in Greece is. Oh yeah, this way. I want to be sitting right there on that bike right now. So that's going to happen today.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah. So thank you for having me again, and I hope to see you and anybody else on our upcoming future cycling trips. Get out there.
Well, thank you for joining me. And again, anyone has any questions, everyone knows how to reach me. It's on that slide, or you could always message me if you're viewing this through YouTube. So take care. Have a lovely weekend. Stay cool. It's going to get really hot.
It's going to hot.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Take care, Lisa. Thank you again, everybody. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.